You've got breakfasts to go to, you've got brunches to go to, crazy family members staying over during the holidays. I'm gonna show you how to make an amazing overnight cinnamon rolls recipe that'll hopefully keep them a little quiet each morning, give you a little peace of mind. It's absolutely incredible and super easy to make. So we actually have a few food family traditions in our house. We make some chocolate peanut butter balls before Christmas Eve, and these overnight cinnamon rolls, we make them a lot in December and sometimes the night before Thanksgiving. I know who needs more food, but bro, they are so good. You're gonna seriously just die when you taste them. So to kick off this recipe, we need to make the dough. In a standing mixer, I'm going to be adding in some warm whole milk in between 112 and 115 degrees. Commies, let me just stop and say this. I always like to go a little bit higher than it recommends, in between 105 and 110, and the reason being is because that bowl that's in that stand mixer is super cold. It's gonna immediately drop the temperature about 5 degrees. This is a great tip and technique to use when helping anything rise where you need yeast and milk. Next, we're gonna add in some sugar. Go ahead and sprinkle in your yeast. Now, using a whisk, combine all of those ingredients completely together. And now what we're gonna do is let it sit for in between 5 and 7 minutes. It's literally gonna form a raft on the top, and it's called a raft. At this point is when you add in all of those other ingredients. We're gonna hit it with some flour, some sugar, some melted butter. Now add the hook attachment here. We're gonna set it down, make sure to lock it in or this stuff's gonna go everywhere. Start off on slow, just to incorporate some of the flour or else it's gonna fly out of that mixer. You're gonna be super mad at me. And then eventually just hit it up to medium, and we wanna do it until it is just combined. No need to go any further. Now add in 1 large egg at a time until it is completely mixed in. Don't worry if it seems a little bit liquidy, it's totally gonna catch up with the rest of the dough and it's gonna be perfect and pillowy just like you like it. Once everything is combined, what you wanna do is simply remove it from the stand mixer and take a piece of plastic wrap, or if you have a towel, that's fine too, completely cover the top of it. Now go into the refrigerator. It's gonna sit overnight. These are called overnight cinnamon rolls. Now, in case you don't want to deal with these overnight and you want to make them now, totally cool too. The only difference is you would let it sit out at room temperature in like a nice warm place, think 70 to 75 degrees, until it doubles in size. That's the only difference. But again, I'm trying to save your morning so they're nice and easy and not crazy with all those folks over. Put it in the fridge, bring it back out in the morning time. It's not really gonna rise, it's not really gonna do anything. But what we need to do is roll it out. So go ahead on your countertop, dust it with some flour. Next, transfer that dough right on top of that flour. And then using a rolling pin, you want to roll this out and you want to do it pretty big. We're gonna roll it to about 18 inches wide to about 24 inches long. I'm making 12 cinnamon rolls, so it does need to be a little bit long. It's also gonna be about a 1/2 inch thick when you get done rolling it out. Once it is to this consistency, also make sure it's a nice rectangle. It doesn't need to be a circle and some crazy shape. Now we are going to pour on some melted unsalted butter all over the top. Don't worry about getting every crack and crevice, because what you'll do next is take a pastry brush and simply move that unsalted melted butter all over, covering that rolled out dough. And now, of course, for some sweetness, using your hands, sprinkle some brown sugar, covering all that surface area, all on top of that butter. This is gonna add that delicious sweetness and get a nice caramelization underneath your cinnamon roll when it drips down and eats it. Dude, it is so good. Now, sprinkle on some cinnamon all over the top, just like with the brown sugar and butter. And then, starting at the bottom, we wanna make nice tight rolls. Roll the dough up until it forms a nice tight roll. Think like a roulade or anything that you would roll up that's food related. You can see I've got this beautiful long roll. Again, I need 12 slices. So what I do is cut it right in half, And then on the other half, I cut that half again, and I make 3 individual cinnamon rolls out of each of those small halves. Do the same thing to the whole rest of the roll. And then in a prepared non-stick sprayed big old casserole dish, we want to place these cinnamon rolls right in there. They're going to be about 1 inch or so apart from one another. Don't stuff them together because they're going to rise and come together anyways. Now wrap it up in plastic, put it in a warm place for 60 minutes. They should double in size. They still probably won't be touching, but they'll definitely rise and you'll be able to notice it. And it's all about understanding these basic fundamental techniques, whether you're baking or cooking, getting that rise time, knowing that it needs to double in size or triple in size. Just like in my bread recipe videos, you understand these little things, you can make anything from home, from scratch. These cinnamon rolls are gonna taste better than anything you're gonna get at Cinnabon or any of those crazy places that it's loaded with garbage. These homemade rolls are amazing. Let's go ahead and take a look. You can see they've doubled in size. They look fantastic. They're going in the oven on 375 degrees for in between 25 and 30 minutes. You're looking for a nice golden brown on top, but don't worry because during this time we can make the icing. So in the standing mixer with the paddle attachment, we're gonna add in some unsalted butter, little bit of cream cheese. Go ahead and drop the stand mixer down and then whip it on high speed until it becomes nice and light and fluffy, which takes about 5 minutes. At this point, turn it down to low because we're gonna add in some powdered sugar, and if it's on high, that stuff's gonna completely cover your kitchen. Once it is mixed in, go ahead and add in some vanilla. And then last but not least, to thin it out a bit, we're gonna pour in some whole milk. Looks fantastic. This is the exact consistency you all are looking for. Set it to the side, wait a few more minutes, and then boom, them cinnamon rolls are done. Bring them out. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at these. I want to eat all of them. This is going to be so hard not to do it. Now to ice them up, simply spread it all over the top because they're nice and hot. That nice icing, that cream cheese icing is gonna spread all over these cinnamon rolls. Dude, they're gonna be so good. I know it's gonna be hard to feed these to your family members and friends because you're gonna want them all to yourself. And if you're looking for more fantastic breakfast recipe ideas, then you absolutely have to check out my Italian frittata. It's amazing, and I'll see you on that video.